Doc LQJ back here again, and thank you so much for tuning in. Um, I want to be as brief as possible with this video, and I'm going to, of course, try and keep it under 10 minutes, but I feel like this is one of those discussions that's like a lengthy discussion because it's like so much than just the topic or the theme for the discussion or whatever. Going to kind of focus in on me. So, um, as you can see, the focal point of this particular video is to highlight some of the commentary that I received during a very, very interesting debate and discussion of sorts on Facebook in one of these groups. It's an amazing dynamic of people, and it's quite a few people. I think it's over 30,000 people in there. And the Facebook group is comprised of black men who are being brutally honest with everyone. I believe that's the title too. I found myself in this group. Of course, somebody added me. I had no idea. And I kind of introduced myself and checked in today. And then people kind of like pushed me away from having, intellectually stimulating conversation with these people because, of course, a lot of the people that are in the group were telling me basically from their observations and experiences that people intend to be extremely negative, and some of them are not necessarily productive, and insightful. And we know that I'm a well, I'm a guru when it comes to putting all positivity into anything. So I proceeded to do so, and I posted a topic for discussion, and the title of that particular post was, how do you view marriage, or how do you feel about marriage right now? And yes, that's a very expanded topic, but I love to grab the buy-ins from everyone that is, affiliated with me in some way. I feel like the more we know about other people and the more we understand other perspectives and other views, the more we grow. So here I am going to spread some of that insight to you guys. I can't even talk about how many comments I got, but I got like, wow. A huge amount of feedback, and I feel like it was all constructive to some extent. Maybe one person commented something that was like totally off topic and very unrelated, but I was just like, you never know what somebody's going through or whatever. So these are some of the top comments that I wrote down, and if you are one of the people who commented and gave me your insight and your buy-in, please do not think that I don't value your insight. These are just some of the ones that kind of just stood out among others, because right now having technical difficulties and I can't have both screens up at one time. So I'm not in my office, and I'm, of course, in my home office. I can't do the video and have the opposite screen up so I can view the comments. So I took the time to kind of jot a few of them down that I kind of wanted to kind of base over to provide insight to this particular discussion right here. And of course, one of them is the subject matter. One of them was government benefits come from being married. That one was interesting. Another one was, if it happens, it just happens. That was really interesting to me too. And for the one that, these are all, every single comment that, every single person that commented, I did ask them to elaborate, to give more insight into their perspective. And that's kind of what we'll talk about, some of the trends that I saw that were common during the discussion. So another one says, a man with options and his shit together, please excuse the profanity, but I like to be verbatim, would have to be a plumb fool to marry a sister in today's times. That was his comment. And, of course, I thanked him for his insight, because that gives me so much. Sometimes people don't really realize how much they contribute to our understanding and our personal growth, professional growth, and the personal and professional growth of other people. just simply giving their opinion. Okay, rendering an opinion like this could be seen as a negative thing, but let me tell you, there was a wealth of knowledge to be gained from this particular thread and his particular comment. So basically, overall, his comment and his perspective was derived from his negative experiences in his past with women who view wealth as a necessity when choosing a black man. Black women is the ones that he was referring to, choosing black men. And what's so interesting is that there was another poster, a woman of African American descent, I believe, and she posted quite the opposite, but still very much the same. Okay, she said something to the effect of, "You should only date a wealthy man as a black woman because we don't deserve anything less." She mentioned that she previously had dated a wealthy guy, and he owned homes, cars, etc., property. He had a girth of wealth, and she really elaborated. When I get the moment to, I'm going to capture the image of that particular conversation, and I'm going to kind of post it in the comments so you guys can see this moving forward. But she says her current guy that she's dating is a med student, and he will be a doctor, and he will be then worth 400,000. So I guess maybe so the worth of the person and the wealth of the person matters to a certain degree, um, that is heavier for some than others, okay, that are of African American descent. I didn't really see a whole lot of other comments that talked about the wealth piece, but I did see a lot of them talk about stability and perceptions and education, being valued, value systems, and family and life dynamics, and those types of things. I saw those as requirements. I talked a lot to the extent of expectations and the role that expectations play in marriages. And I also gave excerpts of a couple of videos where I've already talked about that in detail. And if you guys want to see the coverage on that, it is in my playlist of videos that I've previously recorded on here on YouTube. So the next one I selected, which is the highlight of this: only a foolish man would marry in the actual legal system. The courts will screw you and give all that you have earned to your woman just because she has a vagina. I asked him to elaborate, and I think to some extent he did. Um, this one is a really tough one because here's the thing. I always talk about advocation. Okay, everybody knows that I am a social justice advocate, and I'm probably the biggest one when it comes to advocating for fathers' rights, mothers' rights, parents having innate rights that they don't necessarily use. If you are a person who is married, to a person, and the two of you create a child of that marriage, and you decide to separate, what happens normally then? I like for people to kind of replay those steps that they took before they left the house. Nobody normally argues with the woman keeping the kid. If you didn't argue with the woman keeping the child, that means that you felt that she was a good fit for stability of that child. If you didn't feel like she was a good fit, when you left, the child would have also left with you, and you would have been arranging visitation for she and the child to share once you had already transitioned to another life. And another thing is, not all cases end like that. Not even 50% end like that. It's about what is best for the child. And if you really think about it, when we talk about divorce and what that process looks like in court, if you really think about it, If the child has been reared in a home for X amount of time post divorce, children are extremely sensitive. Under 11, they tend to blame themselves for separation of the separation of the parents, not even considering the fact that it could be anything else but them. And it's something that they can't help. So the only way they can really get over that and have any resolution from that is for you, through your communication with the other parent, to communicate in a way that says that you love one another, not just the child. So you can communicate in a way that says you love and you respect the person without having to be in love with them or wanting to be with them. And I think oftentimes people get that misconstrued. So that's kind of what I have to say about that. I think I'll just record a whole separate video for that piece, because I feel like that is just, it requires so much more effort than I like to give, and I'm already over my 10 minutes. So, yeah, a lot of people talked about the idea of love, and people liking the idea of it, but not necessarily wanting to be in the moment and not wanting to put forth the effort and the work that it takes for a marriage to survive in this particular day and time. And I felt like it was a lot of really, really good feedback. But what I want you guys to take from this video is this: marriage is an entity that people often enter into very lightly and ill-informed. It does not have anything to do with your race. It doesn't have anything to do with your ethnicity. It doesn't have anything to do with your overall cultural history or family of origin. Actually, the biggest thing that marriages are shaped by is a combination of all of those things and expectations that were derived from your exposures and experiences in life as you were reared into the person that you are now. There was another comment that really, really touched me, and it's still on my heart, so I feel like I should talk about that. And that was this guy who had been very traumatized, and that goes to the discussion of what's best for the children. He mentioned having witnessed a lot of trauma during his parents' separation, having witnessed what it was like for his mom to use his father for pretty much just child support and to abuse the children in the home and all of that stuff. It really touched my heart because you guys know I advocate for kids, okay? That's like the hugest thing. The largest thing. Hugest isn't a word, but my kids say their terminology does affect me. What can I say? But it's the largest thing that I feel like affects our understanding of what relationship dynamics really are about. Okay. Please understand that your children are watching everything that you do. Please understand that this is going to shape the way that they view the entity of marriage, single life, and anything to do with attachments. Okay? If you want to know about attachments, everything is tongue-tied right now. I've also included a video clip of that down below because I'm sure it has all of the previous video clips that I have released. So you can type it in or just look for Doc LQJ Speaks and then type in attachment injuries and you'll get the whole scoop on that. So that is pretty much all that I have. I really hope that you guys enjoy the content of this video. If this content was something that you could relate to or someone that you know can relate to, or you want to kind of further discuss this and you want to kind of share what my perspective was, or should I say my viewers, like and share this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to build up YouTube subscribers. I'm not really sure how that works because, as everyone knows, this is a newer interface for me, coming from Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. So, I appreciate you guys' time. As long as I'm under 15 minutes, I'm okay, right? Boom. That's all I got. I love you guys. Take care of one another.